Blackmagic held one of their camera updates last night, and as well as releasing some awesome updates for their Atom series of products, as well as a new web presenter, they also introduced the Pocket 6K Pro. This camera is essentially a Pocket 6K with a few added features to make shooting with it a better experience. It shares pretty much all of the key specs from the 6K, so this means the same sensor, same codec and resolution options, same menu system, same media slots, and recommendations. You get it. So let's walk through what's new, whether it's a worthy upgrade from the 4K or 6K, and how it compares to some of the other cameras currently on the market. The 6K Pro is a beefed up version of the 6K, so physically it's a little larger but shares a similar design. I really wish they had changed the form factor of it, but I understand that these small changes probably keep design and production costs down. On the back you have a new 1500 nit 5-inch touchscreen that can tilt up and down, though a fully articulating screen would be better here. This is better than a fixed screen like on the Pocket 6K. This is something that owners of the previous Pocket cameras wanted, and Tilter actually made a modification for this, so it's nice to see Blackmagic listening to its users. The fact that the screen is also 1500 nits is also pretty amazing, as the one on the previous Pocket was much lower than that. I don't know the exact brightness of it, but it looked to be around 500 nits. This means this Pro's back screen is going to be much better to view when using it outside in bright sunlight. Another addition to the 6K Pro over the 6K is a second 1/4 inch thread on the bottom of the camera. This is awesome to see. Hopefully all future small form factor cameras from them feature this too. The Pocket 4K and 6K take Canon's LP6 series of batteries, and the cameras are renowned for their large power draw, which means that the cameras absolutely chew through LP6s. The 6K Pro now use Sony's very popular NPF 570 batteries, which should provide some longer run times. However, this will only be a marginal improvement. If we look at Blackmagic's site and the spec for the batteries of each camera, shooting with the same settings, the same media at the same brightness on the screen, the larger NPF battery only gives you 15 minutes extra. I really wish they had used a larger version of the NPF like the 970, which would have given much more power to it. Though the new Pro battery kit may solve that, as it allows you to keep a battery in the camera while also adding 2 batteries to the bottom, so you can run the camera off of 3 batteries in total. This achieves this by using the connection on the bottom of the camera to power it. You can slide the battery tray out and the camera will stay powered on, which is nice for long shoots where you don't want to power the camera down, and for hot swapping batteries. If Blackmagic's numbers are correct, this will give you around 3 hours of recording with the screen at 50% brightness. This battery grip does make the camera taller and does change the form factor in a way that could be seen as negative for some. There are plenty of power solutions out there already for the Pocket 4K and 6K to give the camera better battery life, so I could see people going towards these for longer run times. The 6K Pro features the same sensor and EF mount as the 6K, but Blackmagic have added a built-in 4-position motor-driven ND system, which provides 2, 4 and 6 stops of IR and D filtration, as well as a clear. This motor is a new system which I haven't used before with previous Ursa cameras. The clear filter will also have IR cut, and the addition of the clear means back focus will not be different when using the NDs. If these are the same NDs that are featured in the 12K, then colour shift should be minimal and some IR should be cut, but we will do some tests as soon as we get a unit in for testing. The 6K Pro again features the same I/O as the regular 6K, but with the addition of a second mini XLR port, which can provide phantom power. This is a great addition for anyone wanting to record multiple audio sources directly into the camera. Blackmagic also announced Camera Update 7.3 for the Pocket 4K, 6K and the 6K Pro, and this will be bringing a few changes to all 3 cameras' software. The first being the inclusion of Generation 5 colour signs in camera. When shooting B-roll with the previous Pocket cameras, you could still take advantage of Gen 5 in post, but you would have to monitor in Gen 4 while operating the camera, which wasn't ideal. They will also be adding an RGB histogram, which would be a nice option when exposing. With the 6K Pro, Blackmagic also released the Pro EVF, which mounts onto the top of the 6K Pro. This mounts onto the top of the camera by removing a little plate from the top of it that uses a single flathead screw. Its position is similar to most DSLRs or mirrorless cameras, however you can tilt it 70 degrees, which will make it much better ergonomically, especially when on a tripod. The EVF uses a micro OLED display with a resolution of 1280 by 960 with a refresh rate up to 60 Hz. It also features a 4-element diopter that ranges from -4 to +4, which is a good range no matter your prescription. It also comes with 4 interchangeable silicone eye cups, including small, medium, left eye and right eye. The EVF also has a proximity sensor that will toggle between the monitor and EVF being on or off. The Pro EVF is priced at £510 and is only compatible with the 6K Pro. This means that the 6K Pro with the EVF comes in at around £2,764. which, considering what this camera can do, that's pretty impressive. Unfortunately though, I don't think this new Pro version solves two of the camera's biggest issues, which are its form factor and battery life. Yes, the battery type the camera takes is larger, but the addition of a brighter screen and the internal ND system will most probably negate these increases in real world use. This is something I really want to test though. The form factor has also only changed slightly, and this means it's still as difficult to work with as the previous Pocket cameras, and everyone wanting to upgrade from the existing Pocket system will have to sell their current cage and buy a new one. I'd love to see these features in a square body design like the Komodo, Zcam or Panasonic's BGH1. It would have also been nice to see a shorter flange mount being used instead of EF, though this would have made engineering the ND system more challenging. However, the image you get out of this camera is amazing for its price, and B-roll is a joy to work with in post-production. The additions that Blackmagic have added with the Pro may not be headline grabbing like a full frame or 8K version of the Pocket that people had guessed that this was going to be, but they are much more practical. A brighter tiltable screen or the optional EVF will make shooting outside much better. The ND system saves you from having to add front mounted NDs and will save you so much time on set when switching lenses. The bigger battery will offset the increased power draw from these additions, and the extra XLR port will allow you to capture multiple inputs when you need to. If you want to pick up the Pocket 6K Pro with the new Pro EVF and Pro battery grip, the overall price comes to just over £2,900. So overall, I think for the price, the 6K Pro is an incredibly compelling option for a huge range of shooters, and as long as you understand the camera's limitations and how to work around them, the Pocket 6K and the 6K Pro can produce some of the nicest imagery at the sub £5,000 price point. If you want some advice on how to rig out your Pocket 6K Pro for your shooting style, don't hesitate to get in contact with us. Let us know what you think of Blackmagic's new products down in the comments below, and to stay up to date with our awesome content, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. And thank you so much for watching.